I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good evening.
Good evening.
Welcome to the August 10th, 2026 board meeting. Our first thing on the agenda is announcements with Clear Creek Conservancy.
Wayne Kelly, 282 Patriots Landing. I really don't have any report, but the same thing that I've talked about before. We're still getting a lot of items flushed into stools that should not be. They're plugging our pumps up, get wrapped up in the impellers, which sometimes means we have to pull the pump, depending on which station it's in. So anything you can do to get the word out. All these items that are, say, flushable, that's a marketing project, not a disposable project. Most of them are not biodegradable, so they end up in our impellers and our pumps. Luckily, we haven't, everything's got a trip on it. We haven't had any pumps burn up, but those pumps run from $15,000 to $40,000 a piece, depending on which lift station they're in and how big of a pump it is. So it's not just something we're complaining about. It's a thing that we really need to take a look at, because it's happening all the time. We're getting stuff in those impellers. It shuts them down. Then we have to send 2 guys out to either pull the pump, depending on what lift station it is. So wish everybody just be a little more conscious. Anybody ask you any questions, tell them don't flush anything but toilet paper down the stool, because most of the other stuff causes problems.
Thank you. So pass the word. All right, Floyd Township Fire. We do not see Jeff Brooks. No report for neighborhood watch. So we have HLCS with Jenny Lewis.
There won't be a report.
Oh, no report there either. So Donna, you're up, Hillneck.
Don't laugh. I just want to remind everybody that the boat poker run is coming up this Saturday, August 15th. You will have a chance to register from now until Saturday. And if you don't get registered, you can come to the clubhouse Saturday morning between 10 and 12, and we will register you that day. If you register after this coming Wednesday, the fee goes up to $35 per person. So a lot of work involved in getting the registration set up properly. So we want to make sure we get as many in as possible. You can also pick up registration forms at the marina here at the clubhouse, and you can drop the money off at the marina or the clubhouse. And we do ask you to bring exact change. They don't necessarily carry the funds to make change for $100 bills. So anyway, try and be cognizant of that. You will receive a copy of the poker rules and regulations if you sign up. And we just want to remind you that this is not a regular poker. And that's an important point, because we hand out about 4,000 cards. So as you can imagine, 5 of a kind is not unusual. And we only count 5 of the 7 cards that you get in your hand. So it's the best 5 of that. And the first place pays 25% of the net pot. Second place, second hand is 15%. The third place is 5%. And the low hand is 5%. Now, the low hand is not a losing hand. It's a good hand because it wins 5% of the pot. If you just can't have a straight, it starts with a 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. It's a low hand. It's the best low hand. Okay, after 35. Okay, after that, we've got the band coming in at 6 p.m. Cornfield Mafia. And we also have, I think, 3 food trucks, including an ice cream truck this year. So please join us. And if you have any questions, give me a call, or give anyone on the committee a call. We're all hands on deck on this, because it takes a lot of effort to put this on. Okay, after that, we have coming up the garage sale. And Tom asked me to mention that he might need some help doing the cooking this year. It's a big project for him, and he's usually extremely busy. The kitchen opens usually around 10:30 or 11, and it stays open most of the afternoon. So if you would be interested in helping between like I said, 10:30, is that all right, Tom? 10:30 to 3 or so, please call Tom at 765-386-2077. Also, we will start taking items for the garage sale Monday of the garage sale week, August 31st. So if you have really large items, please contact us for pre-approval, because we can't handle any huge pieces of furniture, because we have to dispose of everything when the garage sale is over. And our disposal person is Tom also. So we want to make sure that he can handle anything that comes up. And if anybody wants to help Tom with that cleanup procedure, that would be great too. Again, we work hard cleaning it up and making sure that it's all set. But you can drop your items off downstairs between 8 a.m. and 4 p.m. Any day from the 29th to the 3rd. So after that, we have some fun coming up. We have the Wine Fest. It's always a fun thing. That's going to be on Saturday, September 19th, from 7 to 9 p.m. at the Activity Center. This is a reservation only, because we have a limited amount of space in the Activity Center. We want to make sure that we have enough room for everybody and it's safe. So we limit the attendance to 75. And if you're interested in making a reservation, please call Valeria Beeler at 812-371-1014, or send her an email at valeria_beeler@yahoo.com. And the only thing you have to bring, it's free. Hellnet provides the food and beverages, except please bring a bottle of wine for sharing. That's an important part of it. Thank you.
Donna, what time does the poker run start?
12.
Okay, so we'll announce that the lake should be idle, or not, it's not idle only, it's no towing and no towables after, I would say, 11:30.
Except for that, Donna, why aren't you guys doing more? I'm
Yeah.
kidding.
Yeah, please don't
No
get anything
towables,
else right
no
now.
surfing, but you can go fast.
These are fun things, so this is great to see the community come together like this. It's like the Feast and Ski. It was just a marvelous activity, and it was a marvelous day, so it's a great place.
Thank you. Then we have the security report with Tom Sutherland.
I'm Sutherland, Chief Deputy, Putnam County Sheriff's Office. We had deputies and can respond to 58 different types of calls, or 58 calls, and then we conducted 23 traffic stops around the lake in the month of July. The two biggest call volumes was administrative, we were up here 10 times doing that, bin checks, and then special 30 details. That's when deputies or can are marking on and watching traffic and stuff around the lake. We were up here 10 times doing that. So, any questions? All right, thanks.
Thank you very much. Then we have the presentation of agenda. I have a motion.
Motion to accept.
Second. All in favor? Presentation of minutes for the July 13th board meeting. Second. All in favor? Then the July 27th operations meeting.
Motion to accept.
Second.
Second.
All in favor? All right. On to the treasurer's report with AJ.
Woo! All right,
He's
everybody.
excited.
Here we go. All right, for the month of July, the total income was $216,519. Total expenses for the month of July were $361,771. Net loss of $145,252. Year-to-date total revenue $1,390,414. Total expenses $1,378,286. Which leaves us in the positive $12,128 so far this year. End of July short-term cash positions are $577,698. Total investments put us at $9,479. Total available cash, $587,177.
Thank you very much. Then board committee reports, starting with A&E.
For the month of July, we had 3 detached garages, 4 non-waterfront fences, 1 house, 1 gazebo, 2 decks, 1 pool. 1 garage was denied due to the addition would have been built on a easement. The committee cannot approve. And then we had another denial for a pool and a non-waterfront fence. The representation did not show up. We can't acknowledge due to Rule 112.5. Then we had another garage that was approved on 6/4. However, when they did the foundation survey, it showed up that it was within the easement, so the property owner was going to have that fixed.
Great, thank you very much. Campground?
Let's see. The 15th, we're going to have a French toast breakfast. Anybody's invited from 9 to 10, and then we'll have our campground meeting afterwards. So that's it.
Very good. Cleanup with Lena.
Sarah sent a message. She wants to thank everybody that participated in the shred event. They especially want to thank Hellnack, who donated $200 towards the truck fee, which was more this year than it has been in the past. Our next and last event this year is the September fall sweep or fall clean sweep. And we do have a big change for that. We will not be accepting TVs, computers, printers, and that is because the disposal fee is cost prohibitive. And highlights should have the ad for the cleanup event, and it will be the weekend after the garage sales. That is all.
Thank you, Nina. Then we have government with Rick and Don, it says.
Rick Olson, 51 Mill Springs. So there's been, I believe, some misunderstandings about assessments and therefore property taxes. Everybody thinks their property taxes are too low. They want to, I'm just kidding. I don't know if you ever watch Facebook, but it's been kind of a big deal. Not lately, exactly, people are paying. So we asked the Putnam County Assessor, Don Badalato, okay, I was close, to come and just summarize some of the legislative changes, I believe, recently and things like that. And take some questions if anybody has any at the end. So you have the floor, Don. Thank you.
My name's Tom Pedalano. I brought a flyer that the DLGF has sent out that good information on there. It explains how we come up with the assessed value. A lot of people think that the assessor's office makes up these numbers. It's actually the state that dictates like the price per square foot, every cost for every brick, 2x4, whatever. And then my office just goes ahead and puts that all together and then sends out those F11 forms. And then those get turned into the auditor for taxes. Every year we have to do what's called a ratio study. And the ratio study is based on the sold homes against the non-sold homes and then against the assessed value. Anytime there's 5 or more sales, we have to do that ratio study. There's 2 major neighborhoods here at the lake. There's the See the Water and then the non-waterfront. There was 29 sales on the waterfront properties, 194 sales on the non-waterfront properties. So those were all sales that were used to calculate the neighborhood factors. Anytime the sales are for like less than the assessed value, it drops the neighborhood factor. You all here at the lake for many, many years, it's gone up and up every year. The sales in 2025 actually made the sales for the See the Water properties go down 13%, and for the non-waterfront properties went down 17%. Now the question is, why did my value go up? Because the state changed the cost table this year, and they did a huge change. So that's why pretty much everybody in the state went on. I have an open door policy at the office. You can come in and visit me. I can run down every little bit of your property record card and explain exactly where you sit. I will not do anything on Facebook. Half of the information on there is wrong. If you want to know the truth, just come in and see me. And then I'm here for questions. Anybody have any questions for me?
Nobody?
Nobody, huh?
I see people come visit you all the time.
All the time, especially this time of year. I'm a busy office. You can get, well, there's some good information on the assessor's website. There's good information in this flyer, and please give me a call. I have no problem going through everything with you. Okay? Thank you.
We appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you.
We're on to the Lake Committee with Mike.
It's gonna be a short one. The Piesinski raised about 15K plus, which was kind of nice for the budget. The Lake Committee is still on board with splitting the cost of a new security boat with the POA. So I know Kent has been probably talking to Benny or whatever, but we're still saving money for that if and when the time comes to get a boat. And that's about all I got.
Short and sweet.
Yeah.
I know clean water, so we are on. Oh.
Phil's here.
Whoops.
Sorry, Phil.
It's kind of a contradiction in terms there, it's a seasonal no report, but this is a season where the clean water team is actually.
Yes,
pretty
sounds
active.
great.
If people who've seen the last version of the highlights, this is kind of old news for anyone who hasn't, either here in the audience or out there in streaming land. Benny and Jacob collected some samples. To get this right, I understand Benny drove the boat, but Jacob collected the samples. So in my mind, Jacob gets the prize. And these were submitted to the same lab in Montgomery County that we've used for years. There are two good reasons for that. Is longitudinal comparison from year to year. We have a pretty good feeling for comparing one year's results to the previous. It's also what's considered a quote certified lab for its accuracy and professionalism. We tested this time for E. coli bacteria. The counts were just absolutely amazing. And I could give a long list of all the standards, but I suppose the most basic one is most beach supervisors will close beaches if the count is more than about 400. Our counts were at the 3 locations tested, 0, 1, and 2. So our average was 1, which basically qualifies as drinking water compared to this particular bacterium only. And our results are probably the best that we have ever had in the 10 years that I've been dealing with this issue. So other great results. People frequently ask me why we are so good, and I'm not sure I know the total answer, but I think part of it is the responsibility of the homeowners themselves around the lake. I think part of it must be a little bit of luck, and part of it, I think, is the responsibility of the people upstream in our watershed. And I mentioned this at the Lake Committee the last time we met. I would like to see if there might be some way that we can honor or recognize some of those property owners upstream from in our watershed who are also responsible for our amazing results. And so I have to repeat the comment I made before from a DNR spokesman who had seen some of our previous results, who said that we might just have the cleanest lake in the state.
Well, you've got everyone. Yay. All right, so Rick Olson, long-term planning.
Okay, just a couple of short things. As I reported before, we have come up with in conjunction with the AE committee, a list of potential guidelines for storage buildings. Those guidelines have been now submitted to the board, and it's in the board's hands to take it from there. So we'll look forward to more news on that in the future, I'm sure. Also, another thing to report, our next meeting our meetings are normally on Wednesdays, but because of a conflict, our next meeting is going to be next Tuesday at 7 p.m. here, the August 18th here in the clubhouse. So, thank you.
Thank you. Siltation? I don't see it.
What time is that?
No citation, so election, oh,
Election, I have something.
okay. The floor is yours.
Okay, the election committee will meet, later this month, so that we can organize and submit an article to the highlights for September. But people need to understand that if you want to run for this board in February of next year, you need to prepare early. So October has the deadline for getting your forms, getting your, petition with 25 or more signatures, and providing your bio so that we can conduct this election. So watch for that in the highlights and in emails or postings from the POA. But we'll be doing that this month, and you'll see it come out next month.
Thank you. Manager's report?
All right. I want to start off with assessments. We're due April, and we sent 14 properties to collections on Monday the 3rd. So this is roughly 0.5% of all the original lots here at Heritage Lake. I think that is a fantastic number. Obviously, it'd be great to be 0, but at the same time, wanted to say thanks to Ken for previously setting that up. I know that was a battle when you first started many moons ago. And then also thanks to April and Brittany, because over the last month they have been calling and emailing and sending letters to many people to try to get them to avoid collections, which is what we want in the first place. Next up is Psalms. So they generated $15,579 for the month of July, which is a fantastic increase. So the annual rent has totaled $64,600 so far for the year, and that is an increase of nearly $8,000 year over year versus 2025. So Psalms continues to be a benefit. And then last, school started for most of us. Labor Day is fast approaching. Feels like summer's winding down, but it's not over yet. Looking at the calendar, Labor Day is a little bit late, it seems like, in the month of September. So the pool is open 27 more days. Sunday, September 7th will be the last day of the pool. So make sure that you're enjoying. It's still hot out and the water's pretty comfortable. So make sure you enjoy the pool. And also wanted to say thanks to the pool team under Kim Curran for all their work this season and being quick to adapt to the new credit card machines. Change is never easy. But having that credit card, we've heard a lot of positive things from people utilizing the pool. So I want to say thanks to them publicly. That is all.
Great. All right, now we're on to old business A with the variance at 262 Lincoln Hills. It says both Linda and Benny, so if you want to go ahead.
Okay. So this is a part of the continued discussion about the existing lean-to or addition part of the garage there at 262 Lincoln Hill. This morning received you guys have the packet, second page, received a note from the property owner this morning with some just additional insight and detail to it, along with a screenshot of a text message. So wanted to get that in everybody's hands. Other than that, it's still within the board's decision for either approving this variance, denying it, or coming up with something altogether.
So I think we're here for a vote. If anybody has a motion.
I would like to say that I think a vote on a variance, and I've maintained this all along, is inappropriate because of the time that's lapsed since that lean-to has been there. There's Indiana case law, notwithstanding what our council has advised on, that says, and this is, these are appeals court decisions that say that notwithstanding the savings clause or no waiver clause in covenants, that these are not enforceable beyond 10 years after a POA knew or should have known of the violation. And so I for one, will not vote on a variance because I think it's inappropriate. I think we are well beyond the time when a variance should have been. I think there are other remedies that the POA ought to be considering in this regard.
Can I speak?
Sure.
Excuse me. I have to admit that I am really conflicted with this variance request. I'm conflicted that we subjected this property owner to the process entirely. Because even though I understand clearly the board responsibilities to enforce our governing documents, and we have built in a process to appeal if a decision goes against any homeowner. That is the variance process. So even though we have those rules, we also have language in our documents that tell us just because a previous violation was not held accountable by the board or boards at that time does not mean this board cannot or should not enforce those rules today. So even though we have all of those things, so much time has elapsed since this structure was built and purchased by a new, different homeowner since it was built, it causes me a good deal of conflict. Now, this board is not in the business of overriding our A&E committee. They follow their rules, which we approve for them. So that's not our business, but it is the right of the property owner to appeal. My biggest problem is the amount of time that has elapsed. Now, if that structure, as pictures suggest, has become unsightly, unstable, unusable, essentially bad for the look of the community, that's part of our responsibility to maintain that too. So we could go after a property owner just because they've let their property run down. This might be more appropriate for this property. But because of that, all of that, I'm conflicted. So we all have a vote. I'll cast mine along with you. But I think as a POA, we need to be friendly to our community when we can. I'm not sure we're doing that. Customer service is what we do. Protecting the community is paramount. I'll give you all that. But I think we can do it in a friendly way. This doesn't feel friendly.
Well, and if I could add to that, the information we got today dates back 2 years. 2 years ago, this homeowner was planning on cleaning up the lean-to. And then, the letter came out and the process started. And so this wasn't it doesn't sound like any way that this was a reaction to POA action in the first place. We had a homeowner who recognized, it appears from the information we got today, that it is an eyesore. There are things though that would lead me to say, well, okay, it's attached to the home. It's the same siding. It's the same, there are things that run in favor of that structure being there in the first place, even though I agree it violates the rules, but I think we're beyond considering that at this point. But we do have a rule about keeping your property in good order, and it is not in good order right now. So I'm not saying there's not a remedy. I just don't believe that a variance is the remedy. And to be clear, so I live in real estate, so I maybe, if you deny the variance, then the remedy is removal. And what I'm saying is I don't think that's inappropriate. remedy, if that makes sense.
So my position here is that we can deny the variance and there's likely ways that the homeowner could come back and remedy this in another fashion. I don't think a variance necessarily means that we have to push forward with removal. My stance, however, is that I cannot in good faith grant a variance that first of all doesn't meet our rules as far as structures, but also this structure is per the survey we received 7 inches on the neighbor's property. So regardless of what's going on with the 2 properties, I in good faith cannot vote to approve that. And then also that structure is on an easement, so there's 3 issues there.
Again, well beyond,
Sure,
time.
sure, that's your position.
It's the law's position, Melissa.
I would,
There's case
I'll-
law.
I will
It's in your inbox.
respectfully disagree.
Can I
It's
ask
in
a
your
question?
inbox.
You can't see me through Benny's head.
Yeah.
I keep going like this with Benny's on a noggin. Is there a way, in the way we did the canine fence situation, is there a way that we can do some sort of, and please don't play the semantics of the words. Can we provide some sort of temporary approval of the variance so that she doesn't have to tear it down and basically say like, you need to fix this so it's not unsightly and terrible? Like, is that an option that we can choose in the variance? Not saying we approve of it, we're just saying it is already standing for the past X number of years. If you need to fix it in order to keep it. Kind of a, and I hate the word grandfathered in, but it's been here for so long that I'm kind of straddling the two. Is there a way that she can fix it where it's not unsightly and it's safe? Yes, it does cross the property line, but it's already been like that for 20 years. I don't know. Is there a way to put some language together that can say that without just saying you gotta tear it down?
Yeah, I don't think we're at the position where anybody said she had to tear it down yet. I just think on its face, the way the
But I'm saying
variance is written.
if we
is
deny
not-
the variance, wouldn't that constitute what someone was saying about, or Rick was saying, or someone?
Yeah,
No.
no, I went back through the emails today, and there's an email that says that our council recommended removal. So that's where I'm getting that. I don't know that the board has ever presented that, but there's an email that says that. With respect to the encroachment, things move, the earth moves. There's a survey from 1977 where it was not encroaching, and now there's a 7-inch encroachment. It's not several feet, it's inches. And so I just, that's not part of what I think this board, even in good faith, ought to consider. I don't believe it encroached when it was built. There's proof of that on the survey, the original survey. But there is a rule being broken here, and that is that the property's not being kept well. And we've spent a lot of time talking about this, and you know, to me, it's simple. Clean the thing up. Make sure it's safe. And it's not an issue.
Right, I'm just saying, like,
Yeah,
of approving a variance based off of this, does it
I don't even.
put it out into the world?
Yeah,
Or can we
I
just
just-
say, like, we're not gonna,
Do away with the variance and just say you have this
I'm just
time
saying,
frame
can
to
we
get it
approve or
fixed.
not? Can we just not do anything with the variance? Can it
That's
just not
not-
be approved or denied?
That's my point.
Is
That's,
that able to be, I'm just asking from the A&E perspective to us, if they send us a variance request, are we allowed to say we're not giving you an answer?
I think she was probably advised to ask for the variance.
She
because
was.
It violates And yes, if it had been built in the last 10 years, yeah, I think it's an appropriate discussion, but that's not the case. And I took the time to go out and research Indiana case law on this. And Indiana case law, not just one case, multiple cases, state, and these are cases that went to the appeals court. So these are passionate people who, disagreed with the trial court and took it up. And homeowners associations, in spite of the no waiver language in covenants, it says, even if we didn't say anything for 1,000,000 years, we didn't waive our right to do that. The courts will not enforce that. Over and over and over in Indiana. You're welcome to contact me if you would like to see that case law. Because as a board member, I thought it was important for me because I live in that world to do that research. And so but okay, we lose on that. But there's a way to make this, there's a way to fix this so that the neighbors don't have to look at it. And that's to, clean the darn thing up. So AJ, I think there is a way. There is a way to say you have to clean this up.
I just didn't know if the whole governmental thing, if we're asked to do it, do we have to approve it or not? I just didn't know if we had to give an answer.
We've pulled them before.
Okay. I just, once again, precedent and all those sort of things.
Right, so that was my position, to move forward with it. It doesn't mean that was the end of the conversation, but just that the variance itself would be approved or denied according to what the board thought. And then there could be different remedies from that point, because based on that does not necessarily mean that the POA would be pursuing removal. There would be either a reapplication process or a conversation about fixing it or other things, but this was just to move it forward through what was presented.
So if no one was to motion, it would just the can would just be kicked down the road, is what I'm understanding. Or could a motion be made to set up a set of guidelines in order to clean up the property?
And I would say if we're gonna ask the owner to clean up the property, we give a specific
Right.
timeline with the managers to follow up on that.
Right.
That's what I mean, like a whole list of things, like this needs to be done, and this needs to be repaired, and this needs to be sightly, and this needs to be X, Y, and Z.
Or just a certification of, you have to meet the guidelines of our rules, right? So it does, the siding matches, does it need a foundation? Well, we learned that the homeowner is willing to put, have somebody that will put something in there. What about, like a structural engineer or structural inspection that, will, we have to do that with our homes and other structures.
We did that a couple years ago with the porch.
Yep.
What was that one with the porch? You two.
Yeah, he
There.
built a addition onto his house on just a slab.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he had done that, and then he had to go back and get an engineer and a whole situation for that, wasn't that?
That's right.
Yeah, and so we put him through the paces of that in order to make sure that the structure was safe and adequate.
It was tabled until the engineer gave us a report and he agreed to do what the engineer said.
Correct. Yeah, so we had him go through some steps in order to remedy it, so then it was safe. So then when they sold it, the next homeowner wasn't screwed with some patio or some porch that was gonna fall off their house. Right.
So what about like a 60 or 90 day timeline to clean it up and have it?
Well, we got some plans in here, don't we?
Yeah, there's midway through. There's
Isn't there something here with
add corner trim, new lattice, add flashing, replace door.
But I think as Jeff brought up perhaps at the last meeting, it would need to address the foundation.
Right, what I'm saying, they already have a remedy of a lot of things. We could just say, we just need her to have an engineer
structural engineer, structural inspection to.
Someone with a stamp with their name that says, this is gonna do it if you do it this way.
Can I, real quick, what will this do for like future enforcement of sheds or lean-tos or storage buildings? I mean, we see them, we've had things removed, attached, detached, new, old, dilapidated or not, we've had these things removed before. Do I need to be asking, well, how old is this? Type of deal, or, you know what I mean? Like this is a board decision, but this is, all I'm seeing is a sticky spot for Benny Routon in the future.
How many?
I think it's,
You're fine, go ahead.
I think your obligation as the property manager is to know violations.
Mhm.
And then it's on the property owner, as it has been here, to say, this was here, and prove that it's been there for a certain period of time. And then we have a remedy or we don't with respect to whether it's not, whether it can be removed or not. But I don't think it changes your role. I mean, people might disagree with me, but I think your role is identify infractions. It's one of your,
Yeah.
but if you see something and it's not supposed to be there.
I guess the situation, maybe what he's bringing up is he's saying like, how is this any different than another shed or lean-to that's built onto the side of a building or a house or a garage or whatever that is in a situation? Or are we just gonna case by case everything?
Well,
Would be case by
this
case.
turns on, it is case by case, and this turns on time.
And her original plot she brought in showed it on there.
Yeah.
So, and maybe to help you a little bit, do they have something that on their plot that says that shed or whatever exists now? I mean, unfortunately, I do agree it would be case by case.
My question is, what if, it doesn't get improved like we want? What if it doesn't get improved in a timeline like we want?
Oh, then you can have.
What are the
removal.
repercussions?
Then the removal situation clause comes
And
into
it's
play.
removal.
Then you're able to do that?
Yep.
Right,
That's what I
and
like.
that's in the, that's,
Didn't we do that with the
that's
garage?
well in the rules. If the
That
property
garage
owner
needs to be
does
locked.
not
Yeah.
maintain their property, then the POA has remedies, right? Because you don't wanna be, you don't put any siding on your house and then have, mold and siding falling off on your next door neighbor. That's not helping anybody, right? So, and that would be a rule with respect to someone's main structure, the way I read the rules. And we all have that responsibility.
Since my name was brought up, I voted against the variance because it was an unsound structure. And today, in last meeting, I think the issues get obfuscated and that it's mixed up. There's too many issues with this. Now, I'm not worried about the ordinance, okay? I'll let somebody else worry about that. I voted to turn the variance down because the structure doesn't meet the standards of the association, period. Now, reasons are really, really important as a math teacher, okay? And I remember I said I'm using all my math teacher skills on this. What's the reason of turning this down? I don't care where it is, okay? I care that this is an improper structure and it needs to be resolved and that the homeowner ought to go back to the A&E with plans of how this is going to be resolved. And then after the plans are resolved, if A&E says, well, we still disapprove of this based on its location, then we can determine more about the discussion concerning Carol's concern, the location. Now, also in last meeting, I have a unique view on that, which I don't want to get into, but I think we can get into that. But the first and foremost issue we have with this, it's an improper structure. on the property, and that needs to be dealt with. And I didn't see the variance having anything engaged that they submitted to A&E that talked about a proper foundation or other, the roof or anything
She
else.
came into the A&E, Jeff, I was there. She came in and they just automatically shut her down and told her to get a variance.
Okay,
There was no advisement of what to do.
okay, well,
Because A&E is restricted. Remember, we're not attorneys.
mhm.
We're not, we don't know the laws. We know our rules.
They shut her down
Their rule-
because of the location
No.
or, okay,
They went by the rule in A&E. So if you go through the packet, I'm sure it's in here somewhere what rule it says. And we've been discussing the same thing for a year now. Rule 157. That's what A&E referred this to her and told her to file a variance. So when she came in, there was zero discussion. She told them what happened and they said file a
Okay.
variance and gave her this.
I'll have to look up Rule 157, I don't have that memory.
It's midway through your packet.
Oh, I see it.
Also, the drawings in here, what she advised she was gonna do. Other than the foundation. Could it be just a covered porch?
I mean, given the location and everything, I imagine everything that gets brought to A&E is gonna have to follow the rules, and they're gonna have to say, no, you don't need a variance. Yeah,
No, I get it, I'm not,
So I think based on what the conversation was at the ops meeting as far as the foundation, maybe it would be prudent to table the variance, have her go back to the A&E committee with some guidance from the board and come up with, I guess, an idea or a plan that most suits our requirements for structures and then come back.
I make a motion to do just that. Table the thing until, she gets a chance to get some guidance and move forward.
I think we do need to help the homeowner though, because they're holding some construction improvement, waiting on a decision on this variance.
I think we should, I don't know, I think seemingly we could put a timeline on it and we could ask for the engineer to come in and make it sound.
See if it's sound.
Or have someone come out
Yeah.
that knows, that is certified in some way that says, you can make this sound if you do X, Y, and Z, like we did with the guy with the porch. And then if she conforms to those things, or agrees to conform to those things in a certain amount of days, I feel like that is a reasonable request on our end to make it sound, to make it fit the rules, to make it within the, what do we call it, the spirit of the rules.
Well, I mean, it's run down, so bring it up to par, bring it up to,
Right, make it safe, make it sturdy, do the right
Safe,
thing.
well maintained.
I don't have a problem with that.
I don't either. If that's a motion, I second it.
So all in favor to table the variance, to let the property owners kind of powwow with their engineer and perhaps the A&E committee, somebody familiar with the rules to get the structure most closely in line with what our rules are for this structure, and then present perhaps that as their next step.
Yeah, I think it's, approval to clean it up and make it, and bring it within safety guidelines.
As close to our rules as can be
Yeah.
for what it is.
And I don't think it ends up being a variance, I think it ends up being, bringing it into compliance with the maintenance rules.
And if they choose not to
Not to
want
do
to
that,
spend
then-
the expenditure to bring the engineer and all those things in, and they would just rather remove it to take the headache off themselves, that is also a choice.
Yes,
I think so.
or that would be the result.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second, all in favor of that? Anybody abstaining? 1, 2. All right, so that is the plan. If you need some guidance as to what those steps are, you can meet with Benny and we'll just kind of outline what that process would be. All right. Then we have no new business, open forum.
Phil McKinley, 330 Patriots Landing. Being an optimistic person, I assume this is all in order. But I just had a question about the development on the west side of Heritage Drive, where a new lot is being developed between intersection 59 and 60. And the reason I asked the question is, there used to be a sign there saying Patriots Landing Nature Preserve, which is gone, and it seems like the lot usurps that whole area and trees are gone. Is that legit? What happened there?
So the property owner and builder have that surveyed and marked. The sign was over the survey. That, if you look on GIS or Beacon or whatever it is, that is an extremely narrow strip of land. I think when that sign was placed, I don't know how long ago or when, but I've found just in my short time that things wander a little bit. I think this looks about in the middle. Here's a sign. If it's wrong, we'll move it sometime. I don't know what it was like, but
But the survey is legit?
yes, yes.
That's my question. Thank you.
Anyone else?
Just on the open forum, Mark
Sure.
Fresh at 55 Mill Springs, just checking on the variance part of the thing, if that was going to be voted on.
I think our understanding was how you changed it. You don't need one.
Well,
Had to
and-
resubmit to A&E, correct?
Yeah,
Oh,
there's
yeah.
there's still an encroachment on the setback up between the road, up to the road.
Yes.
Okay.
But I don't,
He was within the 30 feet
Yeah.
between the road and that he pulled in the side, so he was out of the variant, he was
Okay.
out of the easement there. But he was still within I think he was 21 something feet. Oh, and he'd have to go to the county because he's inside 25, wouldn't he?
We
County's
can
25.
preemptively vote on
County's
that.
25 to the road.
It's up past the 30-foot on your, is it? To your
It
nose?
was a building setback issue, not a easement issue. as I
yeah, it
recall.
was the
From
building
the
setback
road
from
to the
road.
front of the building was within
Do you
30
remember what the
feet.
footage was?
Has to be outside of
Between the
30.
road and the-
30 for us, 25 for the county.
But I thought the county, wasn't that the one where the county said if we approved?
Right, we can preemptively vote on that. I would make a motion to
County.
accept it, as long as you go to the, or resubmit plans for what it's going to be. I have no
thought that's
problem
what
with that setback.
I thought that's what we were waiting on was the resubmitted plans.
Yeah, because we needed to.
We needed to
Had you had it
see
redrawn?
the plans.
Just rudimentary myself, no.
We
not-
probably should at least have it redrawn so it's official.
Right.
It
Look,
just go back
yeah.
to the A&E, if we're gonna accept
Oh.
if we're gonna accept the,
Yeah.
Looking at this, which is what you provided last meeting, I'm sorry.
you're fine.
Well, this appears to me that it's behind the 30-foot setback. So that's why I was under the impression we didn't need to have it on the agenda for a vote. If you're telling me it is going to be beyond the 30-foot or closer to the road than the 30-foot, then yeah, we would need official drawing.
21 something.
It's 21 something.
Yeah.
It was definitely, or short of that.
Mhm.
I think it's not
The addition, I think, was in like a hashed line, wasn't it? Like a hashed building.
I would just hate to have the homeowner wait further. If we know what it's gonna be, I would have no problem voting on it as long as when he submits the actual documentation, it is what he says it is.
Yeah.
So if, I would make a motion to accept it, with just the setback from the road, the 21 feet, so long as he submits that drawing that,
Not encroaching on easement.
right,
I'd second.
You can't,
we can't,
you can't.
oh, yeah. I can-
I'll make the
I
motion.
can.
I'll make the motion. I'll make the
I
motion,
technically can't.
provided
I
that,
looked it up.
provided that the drawings are meet approval as discussed. How was that?
Well, it's not in the easement, but it will encroach on the setback.
Okay,
But it was something like, wasn't it like 19 or 21
I
feet?
think it was
Like,
21 feet from the road.
From the road,
Because
yeah.
of the curve of the road, the cul-de-sac, I think it was like 21.
I don't think anybody was worried about the setback.
I've been there and I don't see any problem with what he wanted to do, so I'd make a motion that we approve that.
1 second.
All in favor? Anyone opposed? Anyone abstaining? Okay, that'll make it a little faster.
Thank you.
Once we get there.
Right,
How
you need
quick you'll
to,
have the drawing? Do you know how quick you'll have the drawing?
Within a week, 10 days.
okay. We'll just have that circulated amongst the board and I think we should be fine. Anyone else for open forum?
Move we adjourn.
No takers?
5, 4, 3,
Move we
2,
adjourn.
1.
Motion
Move
to
adjourn.
Second? All in favor? All right, thank you.